When I was 8 years old, my parents forgot to pick me up from school. At least that is what everyone told me. Your mom is probably stuck in traffic. Your dad is probably working late. My teacher kept saying reassuring things like that, while the sky outside the classroom window slowly went from orange to dark. Every other child left one by one until the hallway was empty. The janitor ran the vacuum. The secretary locked the front entrance. Nobody came. Around 9 in the evening, my teacher asked quietly if there was anyone else she could call. I gave her my grandmother's number. 20 minutes later, my grandmother came through those school doors wearing her slippers and a coat she had thrown over her pajamas. The second she reached me, she pulled me into a hug so tight I could not breathe properly. Then she whispered into my hair, "They really left you." I did not understand what she meant that night. I do now. My parents had been drowning for years. Debt, bad decisions, constant fighting over money that was never there. And somewhere inside all of that chaos, they made a quiet calculation that I was one more responsibility they could not carry. So they packed what they needed, left the state, disconnected their phones, and disappeared. Without me. My grandmother took me home that night and cleared out her spare room so I had somewhere to sleep. The walls had old floral wallpaper, and the mattress creaked every time I shifted, but it felt more like home than anywhere I had slept before. I kept asking when they were coming back. Then I stopped asking. That is the thing about being left. It does not break you in one moment. It happens in stages. First, you stop expecting calls. Then you stop expecting cards on your birthday. Then one day you realize you stopped thinking about them at all, and you cannot even remember exactly when that happened. By the time I was 12, my grandmother was my mom in every way that actually counted. Not because she ever asked me to see her that way, because she earned it completely. Double shifts at her job, even when her knees were giving her trouble. Lunches packed every single morning. Never missed one school event or game in all those years. She showed up every time without being asked, and without keeping score. 3 weeks ago, I came home from work and saw an unfamiliar car parked outside her house. I walked through the front door and stopped completely still. My biological parents were sitting at the kitchen table, coffee cups in front of them, comfortable, like they belonged there. My mother started crying the second she saw me. My father smiled in that careful, uncertain way and said, "Look at you all grown up," like he had missed a few weekends, not 16 years. Apparently they had heard through someone that my grandmother's health had been declining and suddenly decided they wanted to reconnect. My mother talked about second chances. My father said they wanted to be a real family. Then he leaned forward and said they wanted me to come stay with them for a while. I actually laughed out loud. Then I asked them one question. What is my favorite color? Silence. What position did I play on my team in high school? Nothing. I turned and looked at my grandmother, standing by the sink with her hands folded. She knows every answer to every question you cannot answer. Not one word from either of them. Then my father's expression shifted, and he said, "We are still your parents regardless of everything." My grandmother had been completely quiet the entire time. She spoke once. Calm. Steady. No anger in it at all. She said no. You were simply the people she came from. Nobody said anything after that. They left about 10 minutes later. After the door closed, my grandmother turned to me and started apologizing for letting them come inside. I looked at her standing there in her worn slippers with flour still on her hands from baking that afternoon, and something settled completely into place inside me. Every real memory I had of being loved belonged to her. Every single one. I crossed the room and hugged her and said, "You have nothing to apologize for." Then I said, "Mom." She cried. I did not. Because for them that evening was some significant emotional moment they had been building toward. For me, it was just a Tuesday after dinner.